Hey everybody, I'm Belinda Sandor. Welcome to Lessons from the Cockpit. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Lessons from the Cockpit. This is my weekly show all about giving you tactical and practical information for your business. And these tips will work for you whether you've been in business for a while or you're just getting started. So I see many of you coming in. This is fabulous. So let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to hear in the comments. So Lessons from the Cockpit is brought to you by the VA Connection. And for those of you who are not familiar with the VA Connection, I'd love for you to check us out. At the VA Connection, we help aspiring and established virtual assistants really build a thriving business with the skills they already have. That's really the key, with the skills they already have. We do this in our free online community, in our courses, and our coaching programs. So if you'd like to hear more, let me know in the comments. Hello, Deanna. Hello. Happy Friday. Yes, happy Friday. So today we're going to talk about getting started in your VA business. And I know that this can be stressful, to take those first steps and scary and confusing. I know for me, when I have to do something new for the first time, I always know that I'm scared when I get confused. I think, what am I supposed to be doing? And then I realize, oh yeah, you're just scared. You're just scared, right? So, the other thing that might be happening is you might be getting advice from lots of different people on how to do this. And that can be really stressful as well, because you don't know who to listen to, right? And everyone's trying to protect you and they're trying to help you. So I'm going to ask you to listen to advice from people who have what you want, because they've been there, they've done that, right? So first I'm going to introduce myself for a minute. Like I said, and while I do, I want you guys to tell me where you're coming in from, okay? I really want to hear from all of you, make this interactive and a lot more fun, okay? So here I am with my little delicious daughter, Emily. This is 11 years ago. I'm just starting my virtual assistant business and I'm kind of a mess. I was a newly single mom. I didn't have a job. I had a ton of debt. Emily and I had to move 3 times in 4 years before we finally settled down, and struggle was everywhere. And, the thing is that I was unsure, I was uncertain, I was totally overwhelmed, and I did not know how I was going to get myself out of this mess. I was about to turn 50, and I thought it was too late. I didn't have enough runway in life to turn this around and to get to the place that I really wanted to be. I thought that, I was determined to try, but I didn't see the path. And it's hard when you don't see the path, to trust the first steps and to get going. But hopefully today I'm going to give you some steps that will get you into action right away. So I was determined not to get a job. And the reason I did not want to get a job was I didn't want to be making $50,000 or $60,000 a year, getting a 2% raise, when the company decided to do that. I wanted to build my life in a different way. I'd been in corporate for 17 years. I knew how to do that. But I wanted to be at the school bus stop. I wanted to be a Girl Scout leader. And those things happen on Tuesdays at 2. They don't happen at night or on the weekends most of the time. And I wanted to be there for Emily, and I wanted to work from home. So I'm going to tell you how and where I get started today with my first 2 clients. I'm going to do that in a few minutes. But let's jump ahead now, and then we'll go back. So 11 years later, in my virtual assistant business, I named it RocketGirl Solutions, and it's thriving. It's absolutely thriving. And I've worked with over 225 clients, and I've made over $1 million. Now that really surprised me when I figured that out, because the first year I made $70,000, and every year after that, I was able to make at least $100,000. So That's $1 million. It's way over that probably. I need to do some updated math, but it's probably 1.2 or $1.3 million from working from home in a little corner of my house with my computer and my phone. It doesn't really take much more than that. So let's welcome these people these viewers who are coming in. Hello from Alberta, Canada. Hello, Jolene from Durban, South Africa. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. So, all right, now really fast forward, okay? Boom. So here's what it looks like today. This is my brand new husband, Greg. We got married this summer, and these are our kids. This is Emily and Greg's 4 boys, and this is our wedding day, and we're having a little fun. Greg likes to wear Stan Smith tennis shoes. He's been wearing them religiously since the 70s, and so I got them for all of us. And we had some fun pictures taken at the wedding. So that's why the white tennis shoes. I bet a lot of people are wondering, what were they doing? That's what we were doing. And, life is really different now. And it's because my finances are handled. No more, minimum payments, barely getting by. I have a thriving business, and I can breathe again. I can breathe again. And, it wasn't until I took a deep breath that I realized how long I'd been holding my breath, how long I'd been holding everything in to keep it together. Okay. So if you're ready, let's get started for you too. Okay. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Let's just talk about what this feels like. All right. Because it's going to be easier to handle if we know. So if you've just started out, or really even if you've been doing this for a while and you're not getting any traction, or you're not at the place where you want to be, and you're just thinking, is this ever going to happen? I know that feeling. Believe me, I know it. So this might be, some of the things that you're feeling. Overwhelmed, right? Don't know what to do first. That is the worst. For me, if you want to torture me, give me a problem I can't solve. Questioning yourself. Should I do this? Should I do this? And then what happens too, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes, is that when we're not sure, we bop all over the place, right? Let's do 5 minutes of this and 30 minutes of this, and nothing gets done, and we don't really make any progress. So it feels like we're working all the time and nothing is happening. And that's why. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Then what happens to all of us is we compare ourselves to everyone else, and we think, oh, they're doing this or they're doing that, and I'm not doing this. And I have to tell you, I spent a big chunk of my 40s looking at websites. I had a business selling baby gifts online, and I spent a big chunk of my life looking at other people's websites and either doing little tiny things to mine that weren't going to really make a difference, or feeling bad. And when I could have been improving my business, being strategic about my business, moving my business forward, that's what I did. So I learned that lesson hard. So I want you to learn that with me right now, that it just doesn't really help. And then the other thing really is, any other unhelpful thoughts. There could be a million things. What will this person say? What will that person say? I've started 20 businesses before. Why is this going to be different? People asking you, how is this going to be different? Shouldn't you go get a job? But I think most of all, this is how we feel, right? Just like exhausted. So I'd love to hear from you all how this feels, just how is it feeling starting out, or if you've been in business for a while, because I know you're here because you want to change, right? You're not here because there's nothing to do on Friday at noon, Eastern time. You're here because you want something to change, right? So let me know how that feels. I really want to know. And here's the other thing. When we put it out there, we help other people, because I'll tell you what, the biggest danger is thinking that you're the only one, because you're not. And I thought that for a long time. I thought I was the only one, that everyone else was all happy and satisfied and, perfectly content and not struggling. And it wasn't true. So if you can put it out there, you're actually going to help another person, another woman, probably. Very relatable. Trinice says, yes, good. Yeah, we're not alone. We're not alone, and we can absolutely turn things around. Okay, so let's talk about this now. Um, the struggle. All right. As my daughter would say, the struggle is real. So let's talk about where some of the struggle is. Okay. So the first thing is, where are the clients? Like, where the heck are they? And I know that a lot of us are trying to get clients in ways that is not working. And a lot of that is, joining Facebook groups, posting on threads where 20 jillion other VAs are posting, and then wondering why we didn't get the job, and then feeling bad. And it's a whole cycle, right? It's definitely a whole cycle. So today we're going to talk about a different way to do this. Okay. A different way to find the clients. Then here's another thing. We're like, okay, what skills do I need? And here's the question that really gets us. What are the best skills? So now we are completely overthinking this whole skill thing. We're stuck. We're feeling bad and we don't know what to do. And the situation continues to get worse, right? Because we're not bringing the money in, or we're bringing it in with our job that it's, what does my friend say? Soul sucking job, and at the end of the day, you just can't do anything else, and the weekends you're with your kids or you're exhausted and you just don't know what to do. All right. So, you guys, great. Okay. Cindy, I feel like I'm jumping around and not sure on the right path. Okay. All right. Brandy is guilty. Jolene, definitely exhausted, overwhelmed. Right. Now, here's the thing. This is a lot easier than we make it. Okay. It's a lot easier than we make it. And I have to tell you, I have a program called VA School, and that's the thing that people say to me over and over. It's a lot easier when I stopped overthinking it. Being able to break it down into what to do next really makes a difference. Okay. So, okay. Now I want to talk about table setting. Table setting is what happens when we have these feelings, because table setting is our way of protecting ourselves. What table setting is, it's also a hazard, and it's also known as procrastinating. So if you've ever heard of procrastinating, I love that phrase. So what it is, this phase of your business, and we all go through it, it's getting in your way. It's absolutely getting in your way. So table setting and procrastinating. Now, what this means is, you move the fork, you move the spoon, you update the contact page on your website, you set up a Facebook business page. What is it for you? Like, what I want to hear, what are the things that you're kind of moving around on your plate, and I want you to tell me in the chat, what's the thing. And the problem with table setting, the big problem is that we don't make any progress, but we feel busy. So now we're busy, we're working, and we're making no progress. So that leads back to all those other feelings, right? It's a vicious cycle. It's very much of a vicious cycle. Okay. Now I want you to know, we're going to have to take a leap here. Okay. You already have the skills you need to get started. You absolutely already have the skills you need to get started. And I'm going to tell you about something that you can jump into here soon to find out more about that. But you have the skills that many people who are in business need help with. And Brandy says, VA school is a godsend. I finally feel like this VA venture is very possible. That's awesome. Yeah, Brandy just joined earlier this month, like about a week and a half ago. And it's awesome. Awesome. Okay. So if you're table setting, let me know. And, I would write this down, like get a Post-it. This is where I'm table setting. What are these things? And is it moving the needle? Is it moving the needle in your business? And I think about that a lot, because I would rather do, organize my Dropbox than do some of the things I need to do to get a steady stream of clients. And when I find myself doing that during my prime time working hours, I think, what are you doing? Like, this is not moving the needle. What your Dropbox is fine. Your Evernote is working. What's going to get you to the next place? Okay. What's going to get you to the next place? And it's definitely not table setting. So I'd love to hear who's setting the table. All right. So Piera says, somewhat overwhelmed by so much information and how much to do, to set up, and going, I'm sorry, so how much to do to set up before going live. I don't know without pricing packages on a website, how to start working, attracting clients, etc. Well, you're in VA school and we're going there. We are absolutely going there. We're absolutely going there. So, and you know what, if you haven't had a chance to watch the replay from Wednesday, check that out, because we definitely talk about what to do next if you don't know what the steps are. Okay. Okay, good. Now, at the end of the day, or at the end of today, when we wrap up, I'm going to ask you what next step you're going to take. And I'm going to ask you to put it in the comments. So as you're participating today, I want you to be thinking about that. I want you to think about, what am I going to do next? What's the step? Okay. So think about that as we're here together, because here's the deal. This is how this works. Okay. There's two paths to starting your VA business. All right. The first one is to get totally bogged down, thinking you have to learn a million things and have a website and have a this and have a that. That's plan, A. And it takes a long time, procrast learning's involved, and you just keep setting that table, moving things around. All right. So or you're hiding, right? We hide, we do. And maybe you're hiding in your office, getting your Dropbox organized, when that's not going to be how you start your business. Okay. The other thing you can do is you can decide to start from where you are. Like, okay, I'm starting from where I am. And that is the fastest way to go. That's the fastest way. It's the simplest way. And it's the way I recommend. It's the way I recommend. And if you think about it, what feels better? What feels better? So let me know who's committed to, to starting from where you are. The other place is much more comfortable. The other place, however, does not get you clients, and clients equal money. Money equals ease, and all of the options that you want into your life. All right. So let's see what you guys are saying. You're welcome, Piera. Don't get wrapped up in your business name, website, colors, fonts, etc. And don't believe you need to know everything before you start. Just drop. I think you mean drop it. Oh, do it. Oh, just do it, y'all. Belinda makes this so easy. She, not her assistant, yeah, it is me, walks you through everything. I do. I absolutely do. Yeah. So it is. And I'm going to tell you how I got my first two clients in a few minutes. And I think you're going to be surprised. All right. So I would love for you to commit to, starting where you are. It's like I said, it's gonna make your to-do list a lot shorter, for sure. All right, Brandy says, today I'm hitting publish. All right, you go get them. Okay. All right. Okay, now let's talk about the first steps. There are two steps to getting started. All right. So the first one is to learn how to talk about your work. And the second one is to pretty much tell everybody you know. All right. Now we're going to talk about both of those today. But first, I want to tell you a story. Okay. When I decided that I was going to be a virtual assistant, I didn't even know what it was called, but I knew I liked admin work, and I knew I wanted to help people with that. I did not know any entrepreneurs at all. I'd been in corporate for 17 years. And then I started my own business, where basically it was me, a couple of employees, and the UPS guy. It was an online store, which meant I was running a distribution center. I met no entrepreneurs, I didn't know anybody. But you know what? I thought, I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to do this. And you know what? And if it doesn't work, I'm not going to have any regrets. So I decided that I needed to start spreading the word. And the first client I was at the school bus stop. So I'm talking to the dads. The dads typically brought the kids in the morning, and then the moms, picked up the kids in the afternoon because the dads were at work. So I'm talking to the dads, and the dads are like, what's new? And I said, oh, I decided I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to do admin stuff, for businesses, and see where it goes, see where I can take it. The dad, his jaw dropped. He said, what? Because he had just started a business a couple months before. He was drowning in the details. He didn't know what to do. He was a mess. So I paid his bills. I cleaned up his email. I set up his QuickBooks. I did things that I already knew how to do. And he was so grateful. So school bus stop. All right. That's where you start to get clients, because you just start telling everyone, right? And the next client came. So I'm at a wedding in the line to get food, the buffet line. And I'm talking to a guy and his wife. We're making chit chat. He says, "What do you do?" I tell him very simply what I do. And he gave me his card. I had no card. I had no website. I didn't have a business name. I didn't have any of that stuff. And I also was not the courageous looking brave person that you see right now, because when he gave me his card, I thought, you've been working on your LinkedIn. You should connect with him. And I was so nervous because I was so afraid of what he was going to think about me. Like, who is this person? She thinks she can connect with me. I hardly know her, all of that. I did it anyway. And a couple weeks later, he got in touch with me and said, "I'm running an event. I need some help with the registration, and I need you to come to the event and sell my book in the back of the room and make some handouts and pass them out." It's like, he said, "Can you do that?" Like, I can do that. I did it. And then after the event, he said to me, we went and got a cup of coffee or tea. I drink tea. And he said, I'd like to do webinars. Now, this is in 2011. It wasn't like it is today, where webinars are everywhere and there was no live streaming or any of that. So we didn't know how to do it, but he said, "Would you help me figure it out? Would you work with me to do it?" So he paid me to help him figure out how to do that. And I've done that for so many people. And we created a very successful revenue stream for him. I got paid for my time. We still do the webinars. In fact, we're doing one next Friday together. So he's been a client the whole time. It's been great. All right. Karen says, "I feel like my newsletter is what I need to get started, but I do need a logo and email domain. So I feel like I'm setting the table, constantly trying to get the newsletter out." Okay. So Karen is also in VA school. I love that you're all here. This is fabulous. I was just thinking earlier today, I hope they all know about it. And it looks like you do. So let's talk about this in study hall. And in the meantime, what I'm going to encourage you to do is go ahead and set the template up. Don't worry about the header right now. Just get all the other pieces organized, and then you'll be moving forward, right? And then the part where you put your business name in and things like that, you can do that later. Okay. So that way you're moving forward while you're thinking about your business name, and then you can just drop that in. So you'll be learning while you're figuring it out. Okay. So that's what I would recommend. Okay. So let's talk about how to talk about our work. Okay. Now, what happens when you first start out as a VA, and frankly, most businesses, is we don't really think about how are we going to answer the question, "What do you do for work?" All right. We don't think about that. So what happens is when someone says, "Hey, what do you do for work?" we start talking, right? We talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. We overwhelm the person. We confuse them, and they leave thinking a number of things like, "I have no idea what she said," or I don't even know how to remember that. It's not a good outcome. Okay. So what I want you to do is say something like this. Okay. All right. "I'm a virtual assistant. I work with solo professionals and small business owners. I specialize in helping them with all the admin pieces of their business, like website updates, email newsletters, and calendar management." Okay. Now, the reason I want you, then let me tell you the big part. Okay. Then I want you to stop talking. Stop talking is so important that for all of my students, I mail them a sticker like this. It says "Stop talking," right? Hashtag "Stop talking," because it's really important that we say what we do clearly and stop talking so the person can digest it, so they can think about it, so they can remember it, so they can maybe ask a question. So it's a conversation, right? Because when we meet someone new and we're telling them about our business, we're not trying to get hired right there. That's impossible. What we're doing is we're planting the seed. So if they know somebody who needs someone like you, or maybe they do further down the road, like my second client, I planted the seed. He gave me his card. I connected with him on LinkedIn. And then here I was when he was ready a couple of weeks later. He's like, "Oh yeah, what about that woman I met in the line? I wonder if she could do it. Let me ask her." Right. So I wasn't asking him, "Well, maybe I can help you and maybe I can do this for you." It wasn't that kind of conversation. It was like chicken or fish, admin work. It was like that. So this, I think, helps with confidence a lot when you can get this down and you can talk about your work. Now, one of the things I want to tell you about is I'm having, if you've been around me for a while, I have events. It's called the 5-Day VA Kickstart Challenge, and it's how to get a steady stream of clients in your business. We're starting one coming up here pretty soon, and we go deeply into this topic and others that we're going to talk about today, and a lot wider. So stay with me till the end, and I'm going to show you how you can sign up for that if you'd like to learn a lot more than we can cover in 30 minutes here. I'd love that. Okay, so all right. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is telling everyone you know. So it was the school bus stop, and it was a line in at the wedding buffet line. I've told people I've been hired by my dry cleaner, the owner of my daughter's driving school, hired me. A lot of people have hired me because I've just been conversational about it. And because I practice what I say out loud over and over and over, so that it doesn't sound like I'm trying to sell them. It's like I drive trucks, I'm a dentist, I'm a VA. Like, you just say it, right? Like, we're having spaghetti for dinner. Very conversational, and that's really important. And we talk a lot about that in the challenge as well. So there's a couple ways to get the word out. One is an email announcement. Another is called the check-in email, which is where you send an email to the people that you know to stay in touch with them, let them know about your business in a more relaxed and casual way, or an email newsletter, which is what Karen was just talking about. So email newsletters are a great way to stay in touch with the people you know over and over, which is part of my simple success formula for getting a steady stream of clients. So again, we talk about all of this in a more broad way and a lot deeper during the challenge. Okay. All right. So now I would love to hear, what's your next step? What's your next step on your journey? And put it in the chat. There's a whole bunch of you here. I'd love for you to claim it. What's it going to be? Could it be, telling 3 people about your business today, pulling your contacts together to send out an announcement, deciding on your business name? What are some of the things that you can do that will help you get to the next place? Okay. So tell me in the chat. I really want to know. And you know what? I want you to put it there, and then I want you to write it down, because when you sit at your desk or when you're thinking about what should I do, it's right there. You don't have to decide again. Decide what's important, write it down, and then that's your list. Okay. So while you do that, and I can't wait to see what you come up with, I do want to tell you in more detail about my upcoming 5-day free training. It's all about how to get a steady stream of clients in your business. On day 1, and it's free if I didn't say that. On day 1, we talk about your services, how you can start from where you are, and you'll end up, when you do your homework, with a list of services that you can offer right now. On day 2, we spend a whole hour on talking about your work. Really critical to getting clients, and I'll explain why and how it's magic. It's total magic. On day 3, we're going to talk more about how to get the word out. We're going to talk more deeply about the check-in emails. We're going to talk more deeply about the email newsletters, and I'm going to give you exactly the language that you need for your email announcement. Okay. Day 4, we talk about the success systems you need. So the systems that you need to run your business, whether it's note-taking or project management or a CRM, we go in detail, and I'll show you how I manage my business. Later, after we discuss that on day 4, I'm going to open doors for enrollment to VA school. So anyone who's interested in taking next steps with me and working on their business together can sign up and start that journey with me. Okay. So day 5, epic Q&A. I'll answer any question that you have. We talk in detail about what it's like to be a VA, and I'd love to have you. So to learn more and to sign up, go to www.vachallenge.info. I'd love to see you there. So it looks like Cindy's going to be pulling together her contact list, which is great. I'd love to hear from the rest of you what your next step is. Claim it, and then definitely jot it down and do it. Okay. Stop setting the table and get to work. So Brittany, she says, redoing my website. WordPress is making me want to cry. I'm sorry. So that I have something that doesn't look awful to link to my announcement. Okay, Brittany, hang tight. On Monday, we're doing an info session in VA school, and I'm going to potentially be able to help you with that. Okay. Deanna says, I'm going to work on my welcome letter and set up a way to receive funds on my website. My first client has offered to let me throw things to her for here for feedback. Wait, hold on. Sorry. My first client has offered to let me throw things to her for feedback. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good for you. Yeah, really claim it. You know, it's like we get so lost in the confusion that we end up cleaning out the linen closet, you know, and not taking the next steps. Because we don't know what to do and because we're scared and we're all of the things, you know. I really do know from experience. So good for you guys for taking a stand on that. Okay. So, yeah, Brandy says, yes, I'm excited about Monday. Me too. It's going to be really fun. I have something called the it's called something funny, the Done For You website in a box for virtual assistants. And I'm going to show everybody who's registered in the most current group of VA school how that works and how you know how we're going to get started. So here we go. So very new here and don't know how to start. Well, let me tell you, sign up for the VA Client Kickstart Challenge, because you can ask the other ladies that are here. They went through that challenge. They started working on their business. Some of them decided to join me in VA school, but I got a text from someone. Check this out. I got this today. Let's see if I can find it. I might not be able to find it because I already read it, but it was a Facebook direct message. It was from a woman named Sarah, and she said, I'm really grateful that I did the challenge. It was really awesome. I have 2 clients and I have a discovery call. You broke it down. You made it simple. I'm like, you know, love, love, love. So I got that this morning and it was awesome. So you really can get some valuable information and it's not that far away. So sign up. And the thing is the Facebook group is opening tomorrow. We have a small pop-up group that's opening tomorrow and content is going to start pouring in there tomorrow. Okay. So sign up. All right. So signing off for today, Belinda Sandor, thank you so much for coming to Lessons from the Cockpit. This is a show that we do every Friday at noon Eastern. I hope you'll put it on your calendar and join me each week so I can help you take the next step in your virtual assistant business. Okay, guys, have a great weekend. Bye-bye.